My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. I would like to invite you and your family to join us on February 22nd as we host our second 22-hour podcast, learning how to create the conversations and listen to our heroes battling the invisible war. We're also asking your company to join us as a sponsor, as a participant, and make your sales count. We will be raising money for organizations all over the country that help our veterans through this terrible, terrible problem. If you need help, just please visit communitypayitforward.us or give me a call at 970-909-0751. So I just noticed something. Months, mind you, months. We have been running that wine disclaimer. Months. Stephanie and I have been working together for months. Did I misspell her name? No, I did not. I misspelled my name. It's Clayin or something like that. I forgot the T in there, so there's no T. And months I've been running that, and I just now discovered that I misspelled my name. Maybe I should stop drinking the wine while we're doing the show or while I'm working, and now to hell with that. I'm not going to do that. That's just ridiculous. So, hey everybody, how's it going? Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. We are having, this is a very, very, very special show to me, and to a lot of people. We are going to introduce this is basically the kickoff party for the community mission to Rescue 22. As of today, all of our organizations that are on the bottom of the screen here, right along here, at least most of them, the ones that have 501c3s, Starting today, you can donate money every time that you purchase wine. How do we do this? Well, it's really quite simple. It's because of this beautiful lady right here, the goddess of the grape, Miss Stephanie Samos. How you doing, my dear?
Hi, Zach. Oh my goodness, what an exciting month. I'm so happy to be here.
It's really one of those months, and it's so weird, Steph, because I've been sitting here, I've known it's coming up. I knew I had everything going. Everything's ready. Wait a minute. I've got so much to do, and it's starting today. So it was kind of like going, but we've got I'm very excited about this because we've got a couple of people on, including one of our brand new platinum partners who's going to help us host this event. And he's matter of fact, he signed with us earlier this week, and we're thrilled to have him. I'm going to bring him on as our guest host today, Mr. Les Simpson. Les, how you doing? Oh, you're on mute again, buddy.
Okay, I'm doing
There
great.
you go.
How are you?
Doing great. Les, you run a program, Wellness Tech Plus.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about that real quick, and then?
Sure. Wellness Tech Plus, it has medical devices. We work with practitioners and individuals. First off, this is the big one. We're representing a camera that doctors will now be able to use. To give you an idea, it's been in 150 research hospitals for 10 years. What it does is shows what the capillary system is doing. What people don't know is what doctors have been able to work with at this point is 1% of your circulatory system. 99% is capillaries. And capillaries is where all the health and disease starts, according to 2,000 white papers by those 150 hospitals. And now, anytime you go to a doctor, in 5 minutes, they'll be able to tell you what your real health is. And there's also a supplement that restores and repairs the capillary system. And so because of software development, these cameras are, besides available in hospitals, will be available to every health or medical practitioner, which we're really excited about. It's a completely new area of health. There's two other medical devices from Germany. One, especially for veterans that have had back injuries. It's called a stem well. And what it does is it's in 400 injury facilities in 30 countries, been there for 35 years. And basically they lay down on it in 45 minutes. It's almost like artificial intelligence. It finds out what part of the back needs help, strengthening muscles, loosening muscles, and so forth. And also for the high-end people, they can actually buy it themselves. In fact, the Ritz-Carlton and the Hilton Presidential Club has it in their suites. So an executive can lay on it 40 minutes and have a massage therapist on demand. Basically, it's phenomenal. 17,000. And the doctor, it also has CPT codes, so insurance can pay for it. And we have many celebrities and so forth that buy it for themselves, travel with it and so forth. Last but not least is a pulsed electromagnetic field therapy. And basically all of our cells are begging for this energy. We've been getting it from the earth. But for the last 15 years, it's decreased to the point that's why a lot of the disease is happening. And this, a person laying on it 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, completely resets the body. And it's phenomenal. It's been in Europe for 28 years, in many hospitals and so forth. And we have purchased the company basically worldwide. And so if you are an organization that helps with veterans, you can buy these and provide the services free. Or if you're a practitioner, then you can buy these and rent out the services. You cannot rent out the services unless you're a practitioner. But we're looking at a complete new era of healthcare. And so I'm excited, and I'm a veteran myself. And I'm excited about helping all the people out there that help the country and are tremendously hurt in both their health and their body and their emotions, because this is also, unless you were doctors, I can't tell you what it's been used for in Europe. I can talk to a doctor and they can talk to the patients, but we have tremendous backup and history and studies. So this is going to be a new area in healthcare.
Well, I think that I know that I've seen like machines before, but everything that you've explained to me about this, I think we're in a new age, and I'm excited to learn more. We will be bringing you back up at around the top of the hour, at the top of next hour, to talk a little bit more about everything.
Sure.
But we do have two of the people that are going to be joining us on the 22nd. Well, as is everybody on the screen right now. One of us is going to be a talking head pretty much the whole time, which is just scary, unless we raise $1 million, and then I'll shut up for a little while.
So anybody that thinks you're boring, they better get that money coming in.
That's right, man. They better get that money coming, or they're going to end up looking at this flat, fat head, pumping my gums all day long. So, but we're bringing back a great friend to the show. You guys have met her many, many times, Sarah Goodell. And and I know I'm going to mess this up, but it's the Geister.
It's Geister, yes.
Geister. Well, welcome to the show, guys. You guys have a very interesting program. Geister, why don't you go on ahead, and you two are both veterans as well. Why don't you guys go on ahead and tell me a little bit about what you guys have going on?
Well, the long story made short is I suffer from extreme PTSD from my combat, and one of the things that the VA therapist said, got me into gaming, and I found out through gaming it actually helped me. So I got with other fellow veterans, and we have this show where we stream games and we invite veterans to play with us, and mainly it's Destiny, but we also have other games like Deep Galactic as such. So we open it to them to help them do it, because what happens is we find out that through gaming, like Destiny, in many ways brings back a lot of the combat scenarios that we were in, and it gives you a chance to correct what you wasn't able to correct in the real world. And what that's been helping is it's been helping people just coping with what has happened. So that's the nutshell of it. I mean, Sarah, anything you think I should add?
I think that's pretty much what it is. It's the camaraderie and all of the togetherness and kind of, having other people to depend on that know what you've been through, that you are missing in the civilian world.
Does it also help to bring back maybe some stories that have been hidden? Maybe you get into, in which I don't know a whole lot about gaming, except for both of my sons love doing it. I don't know. My type of gaming was Pac-Man, and I sucked at that. It was too technologically advanced, kind of like talking is. But are there like scenarios that can bring up stories that somebody's like, maybe kicks a memory into place to get some talking?
Well, what we do is, before we bring a veteran on the show, we have a little pre-show that we get together. We try to understand them, get to know them, and then we try to play a game that will help them help cope with what they're dealing with. right now, the big game that does it right now is Destiny, but Deep Rock Galactic has also been doing a lot of things because unlike Destiny 2, Deep Rock Galactic is very, very fire team oriented. So you kind of get a lot more camaraderie in that. So it's we try not. Our purpose is we don't want to cause harm by bringing up things they're not comfortable or ready to speak about. But what we do is we create the scenario that should they feel disgusted, they're in a safe environment where they can do it because everyone online is a veteran. We've all been in combat. So if we give that understanding environment.
Do you guys have any? Are there any type of rules, like maybe you want them to try to stay away from alcohol while you're playing, or do you just let them be?
Well, we ask them not to drink, or anything during the show because we want them to be, at their full capacity. so they're active participants in what we're doing. We also, we tell them, as part of the rule set, if there's any point or time in the show that you're starting to feel uncomfortable, you don't want to talk to somebody, we come up with a quote unquote safe word where they would say that, and okay, we know, okay, we come to the extent we can, so let's just focus on playing the game now.
And Sarah, how many you being a female doing this, how many other females do you have joining you?
There's just one right now, and that is one of our co-hosts' wife. She was also in the Army, so it's pretty easy to relate to her. She's a creative, such as myself. So it's, like I said, it's pretty easy to relate to her. Most of the other people within our group are creatives in some way, shape, or form, but you obviously do not have to be to join us. Like Alex, for example, Geister, he's in the middle of writing a series of sci-fi books that are actually his autobiography. I don't want to say disguised as sci-fi, but placed in a different scenario.
Sir, you're also part of one of the organizations that is part of the 501c3 package that we're working with right now with Stephanie. You are part of VWAS, Veteran One Stop Shop. Can you give us just kind of a rundown on what VWAS is?
VWAS is a organization that came together to bring together all of the resources available for veterans and their caregivers and family members, kind of to have a one-stop shop to come to and to find things like help for homelessness, things like help for finding out what you can use your GI benefits for. If there is someone who's in need of like substance abuse treatment, we help them find resources for that. Anyone who needs kind of a place to go, we are that place for them. Hopefully in the near future, we will have transitional services for soldiers who are in the middle of transitioning from their military service to the civilian world. But right now, that's something that's in our near future. But we're hoping to be sort of the Google for military families.
VWAS is something that, and Les, I believe you and I were talking about this the other day. I think organizations like VWAS are going to be very important because the one thing that they're going to be able to offer people is an opportunity to, you know what, you're not going to be walking away just leaving somebody in the lurch. VWAS is going to be able to, you're going to be able to go to VWAS and you're going to be able to find someone or a program that if you don't feel comfortable having that conversation, we can take and we can call on them. Les, in your service time, how has the suicide factor, have you noticed a difference in it since from now back when you served, or was it always a problem and it's just it's not gotten worse, or have you noticed quite a bit of a change?
Well, unfortunately, it just has been more publicized. If you go back to the Civil War, you'll find out that 40% of the soldiers died through suicide. And so it's been people, unfortunately, especially when it's the youngsters that go in, they're just not prepared for all the emotional problems and so forth of war. And unfortunately, they're full of guilt. And so when they come back and all the things they did, and they knew they, weren't supposed to, but they had to for the country. But if you go back and study the Civil War, it was the biggest problem with the soldiers. So it's much more publicized now. But at the same time, I think war has always been war. Unfortunately, what is it, like 47 a day or something?
Yeah,
and
it's right in between 44 and 47 a day. So
yeah.
right now,
but it's much more publicized now, and so people know about it, which hopefully at the same time, because they know about it, they can talk about it, because before they never talked about it. They just if somebody did it, your family or something, nobody ever talked about it. So at least if it's up front, it's kind of like you said with the 22 coming up, how do you talk to them? But you really have to be emotionally open and allow yourself to be vulnerable, and not these superstars. They hide when they can't handle things. People that are submissive and vulnerable and allow themselves to be human, they have much more of a possibility of getting through it.
Stephanie, you and your husband, you guys, not trying to give away too much here, but you and your husband are working on plans to try to help out in your area. What are some of the things that you see day to day that need to change? Because I think it's well beyond the thought of what do I think needs to be changed. I think we're at things need to change.
Definitely. Somebody very close to me is a veteran, and I think he kind of influenced some of this, along with some of these incredible organizations that I've been working with the last few years. But veterans need housing. We're not too far where we live from the Army depot here. We have a lot of, contact with military families. My kids go to school with military families. They're amazing. And then they move on us, which is terrible. But we are working on putting up cabins for veteran housing. My husband's a contractor, and that's kind of like, I'd like to say the side thing we're doing, but I feel like all of it's really full-time. Everything that we're doing is kind of full-time. But really, veterans need housing, and the list is long. So, from a perspective of being a landlord, we'd rather take a cut and work through HUD-VASH and do something that we know is making a difference. And that really makes a difference for us.
Well, and just to kind of sit here and celebrate you a little bit, this is great. You just broke this on this show, and the last time we got to talk to you, you broke that you're with child, and so yeah, you got a few things going on there.
Just a few.
on top of opening your boutique store online, so you do have a lot going on. Plus, of course, then you have to wrangle me around and get me working, because I leave you in a lurch quite a bit. So
no, I have to say this. I need to stop and give you a really big shout out, Zach, because I've had the pleasure of working with these organizations with you on a monthly basis. And I've met just about everybody that we're going to introduce and talk about tonight. but you're putting this together. You're gathering them, putting them together for this incredible show this month. And that's really awesome. So totally, you know, kicking my boots to you because, you know, it's a lot of work, but you're doing an incredible job. And it's great to see all these organizations come together for a similar purpose, just in a different way.
You know, I think that's and Sarah, we're going to bring you back in here. You and I got together right after the show last year. And you remember where we were at last year, and yeah, we've really started building from the beginning to try to do this from the beginning of the year, because we've been noticing throughout the year how things have just, you know, gotten worse and worse and worse when it comes to the numbers. Yet it seems like unless we're trying to put something forward, or somebody that we know is trying to put something forward, nothing is happening. What do we need to do to maybe make a huge difference in this?
I think the first thing that we need to do is to speak up. There's so many people who are like, oh, I want to make a difference in that number, but the truth is that they either want to take advantage of the people involved in the community, or they don't know what to do and they just want the ability to say that they're doing something. And as we sit here, the number has increased from the famous 22 number that everyone is so familiar with over the years to 47 people a day. And that's one person every 39 minutes. And that's just a ridiculous number. So we all need to start the conversation. It's not the easiest one to have. Nobody wants to talk about the gigantic elephant in the room when it comes to PTSD and, you know, suicidal thoughts and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, the more that we're open about it, the more that other people are going to be open about it.
Yeah. Geister, how would you go about, and this is kind of one of the questions that that we're also going to be bringing up quite a bit on the 22nd. But if you were approached right now with somebody who is contemplating taking their life, what would be the first thing that you would want to say to them?
Well, there's various approaches I would use. If someone came to me and said, you know, they're seriously taking their life, the first thing I would ask them is, well, do you have a plan? Have you already determined how you're going to do it? And what that does is psychologically it gives them like that stunning moment when you ask that, for them to pause and take that breath. And then that's when I would go in and say, okay, you know, before we talk, you say you don't have a plan yet. So before we even talk about making plans or anything, you know, let's go, you know, have some coffee. Let's talk about it. Let's, you know, do the steps you need. You know, if you need help, you know, I got people I can bring you to. I can take you to the vet center. I know them all really well. And that's how I kind of do it. If someone went to me, it's the one thing you don't want to do is get what most civilians do when they hear someone's suicidal. They get all panically and they run around like a chicken with the head cut off. That's not the way. You got to be very calm, collective, and you have to overtly show your caring for the individual. You have to have sincerity. Because if you don't have sincerity, it doesn't work. And I can speak from this as an expert because I'm a 4-time suicide survivor. So that means I tried killing myself 4 times. And, you know, it really took someone, you know, to really bend over backwards to help me. And so I'm just repaying back the community.
Les, let me ask you this one, okay? What does it make a veteran feel like when somebody comes up and says, you know, when a veteran's talking about a problem they're having, and somebody who's just a civilian who obviously has no way of knowing what a veteran's going through, but they come up to you and they say, I understand what you're going through. We can't possibly know what you're going through, can we?
No, because they haven't gone through all the emotions that in the situation that the veteran is hiding. And that's where PTSD comes from, is all the different, and it's so, can be so minor, but monstrous. To give you an idea, I also work with a technology called emotional freedom technique. And it's been proven by the VA and so forth to help PTSD, because what it does is it goes back in memories, allows them to relive them and forgive themselves for it. For instance, we had one gentleman who for 38 years couldn't work, couldn't sleep, heard a noise, went nuts, the whole bit. And what we found out was he was on patrol. And that day, he decided to have his buddy walk on the left side instead of the right side. Well, the bullet blew his buddy's head off. Mm. And he had complete guilt that he had asked him to stand on the other side that day. Well, once we went back into it and he realized he couldn't have stopped it. And if he did, he would have been the one that was dead. And his buddy would have been the one in a mess. Now he's living a good life because it's all full of guilt and shame. And once we can restructure that memory, the PTSD has no more power, because now, in fact, one of the things we found is once the shame and the guilt comes out, then they actually see the growth and different things that they had through war. They were able to have creativity. They were able to have the ability to get through things. And so it completely turns their life around once the guilt and the shame is gone from that memory. But there might be 6 or 8 of them. But so it all has to do with the foundation. And of course, nobody has any concept of what they went through. And so when somebody comes up and says, I know everything, they know everything by TV. They've never felt what the person has felt.
It's always been one of the things that really kind of bugs me. I mean, look, the truth is that we might have an idea on a situation, on something similar. Well, not even something similar, but we can't tell another civilian that we know what they're going through.
No.
Every single one of us has went through things that are different. Okay. Yeah. And I think that I really think it's irresponsible. And I think that's one of the things that I'd like to focus on, is that we cannot, as a civilian, there's no way in hell I can tell anybody, oh, well, I have TBI, so I know what you're going through. No. As a person with TBI, they also don't know exactly what I'm going through. So, but, Geister, one of the things that we hear all the time is we hear somebody say that if you are going to volunteer, if you're going to talk, you better be ready for the ugly. How true do you think that is? You're on mute.
You're muted, dude.
I apologize. That's very true. When you start going into these type of conversations, you have to be willing and expect the very ugly to come out. Mm-hmm. I actually had the misfortune, and I'll explain why it's a misfortune, to actually teach a suicide prevention class for suicide survivors for the United States Air Force. And me, myself, being a survivor, it was I consider it a misfortune, but because I'm a GS, I obey orders. And, when you start teaching it, you come in with the flowers and the bunnies and the kitty cats And you come in with that type of forum, and very quickly, people will start telling you the ugliness that has driven them to try to commit suicide. And you have to be willing to accept it. You have to be willing to not only accept it, but provide them the social support they need. And you never let them stop talking until you say, okay, do you need help? Do you need me to help facilitate anything to make you feel better? That's the most important thing, because then they're not just telling you their woes, you're enforcing to them that you're here to help them. And that's very important.
Sarah, how dangerous is it to say to leave somebody and say, you know what, I'll make a phone call. Just give me a day or two. How dangerous is that?
I absolutely will not do that. I don't care if it's somebody that I've known for the last 24 years or if it's somebody that I've known for 2 minutes. If there is a chance that that person needs a well tech and I can't get there, I will do everything in my power to make sure that that happens. Geister is actually living proof of that on 4 different occasions. I was the person to have to make those calls for him and make sure that he was in one piece. And all 4 occasions he had to go and make sure that he got right. But even if it was somebody that I didn't know as well as I know him, he's literally my best friend. But if it was somebody that I didn't know that well, I've had to do well checks for people that I've known all of 15 minutes. If I have even the inkling that they're going to do something that they're, that's going to end up being a permanent solution to a temporary problem, I will be the person to do it. You can be mad at me all you want tomorrow, as long as you're here tomorrow.
Well, that's a great, I love that statement, because you know what? You can't be mad at me if you're gone.
Exactly.
The only person who can be mad at me is everyone else, because I failed you. And
exactly.
As heavy of a statement as I think that is, if you take and you walk away and you leave somebody
if you
alone,
walk away and you were the person that they last saw, you're going to be thought of to them as their last hope.
Yeah.
You never know the kind of impact that you can make to somebody in that situation. I had a situation with Kaiser where nobody had heard from him for quite some time, and it was completely out of character. And so I was like, okay, I have contacts where I know he is. I will go and make those arrangements to make sure that somebody checks on him. In the last instance where he was a suicide attempt, I literally had to have the door taken off of his hotel room. And that's exactly, he just put in the chat what I had said to him. I said, I would rather have you hate me than have me coming to your grave to talk to you.
Well,
I would absolutely rather have somebody think I am the worst person on the planet because I got them help, rather than, not, rather than have somebody not care. I will be the person that will sit with you in the dark. I've been to that point where I had a plan and I knew exactly what I was going to do. It happened to be Geister who pulled me out of it.
Well, Sarah, why don't you go ahead and introduce to everybody what we are going to be doing on the 22nd with you guys.
Well, on the 22nd, we are going to take one of the later night spots because we're usually up at night anyway. And we're going to be playing games and just basically talking about what we do. We're not certified professionals by any means. Nobody has any type of doctorate program or, psychiatry or counselors or anything like that. We're just a bunch of people who've all been in the same situation for one reason or another. And we're all there to help each other.
I think it's going to be weird for me because, like I said, I'm going to be sitting there kind of watching you guys in the background, going, first off, I look at those remotes and I'm just like going, good God, I don't have enough fingers for these remotes. I watch these kids play with their thumbs, the triggers, all this stuff. Dad, it's ABD, whatever, and I'm like going, where's the A? And it's like, it's that button. No. Give me the joystick and the one button, please, because I can kind of handle that. So, yeah, we're really looking forward, Geister and Sarah. We're really looking forward to seeing what you guys do in this with this program. I do think it's a wonderful program because of the way you guys have it set up. The way that it's the way that you guys kind of bring back that, and I don't want to make too light of this, but that got your back mentality and bringing it back to where, you can talk to somebody the same way that you used to talk to somebody, the same way that you were talking to your brothers and sisters in combat. You guys can kind of talk to them, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're there for. And it doesn't matter if you've had a bad day at work or you just want to talk about how crappy the weather is. We're there for whatever it is you need to talk about. Personally, I think one of the best things that's come out of the kind of little camaraderie that we've all developed is finding sources of creativity to have that outlet. Geister will tell you, excuse me, Geister will tell you that he's the least creative of us all, so he says. And he's, like I said, he's writing a book about his experiences. So I think it just goes to show that we can really take something incredibly crappy and turn it around for good.
Well, I'm going to have to say, Geister, that I disagree with that because you're wearing that hat. So, and it's my personal.
Okay. Well, there's a story behind this.
Yeah, anybody who has a cool hat, you win. So, of course, my strap comes down on me. But if you got a cool hat,
I've been an armor cav officer. So, I'm a Mustang, served 28 years. So the Stetson has been part of my personality, and life so much. So I wear it all the time. And what happened is as I got drawn into the writing community, it very quickly became this signature of me. People expect when they hear me or see me that I'm wearing the Stetson. So it kind of becomes my my personality, my writing persona is to wear this, and to actually say, when I started writing, it was never my idea. I never had the intent of ever writing a book. What happened is when I found out I was terminally ill, and they made me a replicant. They gave me only 5 years to live. I met this author named Jonathan Yanez. And so I told him the situation. I said, can you make me a character in one of your book series? And as he was interviewing me to make this character, as he started working with me, he finally pulled me aside and he said, listen, you have a story you have to tell. You have to write about it. And I said, I can't write, real true life experience. I just can't do it. And he said to me, well, you know who Kurt Vonnegut is? I said, of course, he wrote Brave New World. He said, Brave New World was his autobiography. I go, really? He goes, yeah, he just put it in a sci-fi setting, but everything that happened was his ordeal with drugs. So Jonathan helped me come up with the idea is that I can talk about my combat experiences behind a sci-fi backdrop. So like I say in the book is, even though it's a sci-fi backdrop, many of the personalities, the people I'm talking, the events that happen are very real. They come from my own experiences. And so that's kind of the premise of ODAT, the book series, which stands for Orbital Drop Armor Teams. And that is right now it's set to be a trilogy of 3 books covering my K4S4, my OEF, and OIF experiences. And so that, and then I have another series which is The Last Paladin, which I do in between those other books, where Last Paladin is where I let the voices in my head that I have developed from my combat experiences, I let my voices in the head come out and express themselves, and I talk about a lot of the nasty real world problems I had, but it's done in a very satirical way. It's a lot of satire in it, and it's a different approach. Where ODAT is more of this is what happened. The Last Paladin is a urban fantasy of, this happened, but it happened in a funny way. It's sort of 2 sides of the same coin is the best way I could describe it. Sarah's been helping me with The Last Paladin as well as my ODAT book as well. So it's been very helpful.
When are these books supposed to be coming out, or are they already out?
ODAT book 1 is about 95% done. I'm expecting to be done end of March. After end of March, April, whole month of April is final editing. Then after April, it's May and June is the beta readers, which I'll have, beta readers. And then hopefully in July, it goes to publishing and Audible. I actually have a narrator who will be recording my book for audiobook as well as the print being released.
Well, just to let you know, you just found yourself a fan, because I love Audible. It is one of my favorite things in the world. I am the worst reader of all time. I'm that guy that I'll start reading a book, and no more than 5 minutes in, I'm like, I could be doing something else right now. I could be doing something productive, but I can throw on an Audible and I'm listening all day long, just loving it. And, so drives everyone else crazy, but oh well. So,
well, I look at it as I can't read a book while I'm driving. I can listen to books while I'm driving. So, I have a long commute between my house and the Air Force base I work at. So it fills that 60-minute drive rather nicely.
I know a couple people that if they were reading a book while they were driving, they'd probably be driving even better. So, but, So, hey, just to let you guys know, I'm please stick around with us, but it is time that we bring in Stephanie, and she can do her thing. She is the one that makes this happen. Stephanie, we are doing something that we've never done because we have 7 different organizations this time. Can you please explain what we're looking at right now?
Absolutely. And I am not the only one who gets this done, Zach. This is a team effort here. And look at all these incredible organizations that we're highlighting this month. So exciting. So what you see here is the QR codes for each organization that we're highlighting for Mission 22 this month. If you'd like to just type in the fundraising link, you have, the onehopewine.com/event/ and then the 6 digits at the end next to each organization. Or you can just take out your phone camera, open it up, and hold it right next to the organization that you would like to support. That QR code will take you right to the fundraising link that will support that organization. And every single purchase supports. So think, Valentine's Day, and I want to say spring is coming, but it's still quite cold where I'm at.
Sure as hell don't feel like it does. It's sure taken a long time to get that way. Les and I are here in Colorado right now, and I'll tell you, it does not feel like spring is on the way, even though, we got all the way up to 30 degrees today. So,
right. Right. I know we have some negative weather coming here in Pennsylvania. So, but think fun Valentine's Day, all the things, sweets and treats and some wine to go along with it.
Well, we are thrilled that we're able to introduce some new programs on along with some of the programs that we've had on before.
Right.
Programs like GI Josie. Okay. And wow, it didn't switch screens on me. That's not nice. So I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to stop sharing and do this every time, it looks like. So GI Josie is a nonprofit program that focuses on our female veterans. Our female veterans have the problems that every male veteran has, but they've also got some additional PTSD points. Sarah, did you ever have to deal with anything? Because I know that GI Josie deals a lot with sexual exploitation and sexual harassment. And I don't want to bring up anything that's a bad memory or anything, but I know that it's prevalent in the service. How important is something like GI Josie?
I would go as far as to say that it's absolutely an indispensable service, because MST is something that many female veterans deal with, and it's absolutely unacceptable. A lot of male veterans actually deal with it as well, but it is more prevalent in the female population, and to have a service like GI Josie available to those who need it is absolutely indispensable.
Well, like I said, it's really one of those programs that we when I talked to the lady who started it, she was first off, when I told her about what we were going to do, she was thrilled. And right now they've got an event that they're building up at Pebble Beach, which I am very, very jealous of. Not that I can golf Pebble Beach wise, but I can go and hit the ball into the water like nobody else. Let me tell you, I'm pretty good at that. So at least throw the club into the water. I've done that a couple times too. Not always on purpose. Sometimes, but yeah, GI Josie was it's one of those programs that when she was telling me what they do and some of the stories that they hear, I was astonished. I didn't, I really didn't know what to think, and it's just, I think it's great that it's out there as a resource. I think it's sad that we need it. So we are thrilled to get them involved with this program, and we want to welcome them to our little family. We also have Stephanie. I'm trying to make sure that I'm really trying to make sure that we've got everything going right here, and now I've got so many screens open that it's hard to keep up with them.
Yeah. Well, next up is Healing Warriors.
Healing Warriors. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can go in any order you'd like, Zach, but
you know what?
If you're going in order on that list.
Yeah. Let's go on ahead, and what we'll do first is we'll do the Hope Advance, because Hope Advance is a brand new one. Hope Advance is in Colorado Springs, so it's in our neck of the woods right here. And Hope Advance is there. They help individuals, and they help all individuals, but it is a veteran organization. It's ran by a vet and his wife. And their tagline is it's a funny tagline, but it's a true tagline. Their purpose is to help the broken, the busted, and the disgusted. They help people with their credit checks. They help them with their background checks, taken and building themselves after being torn down. And Les, let me ask you, how difficult is it when you come out of the service and you're back to dealing with everyday bills? How difficult is it to get back into the swing of things?
You'll have to. I came out in '74, so it's probably a lot different. So, I mean, I was in '74 through '77, and so I came out in '78. And so how it was then, it was pretty simple and easy. All you did was, but it was post-war, and Vietnam War was over 6 months before I went in voluntary. And so you had the GI Bill. You could do with it whatever you want, but I'm sure it's what I hear from different organizations. It's much more difficult, especially it depends on what they were trained in. If they were trained as a soldier, needless to say, it's difficult for them to get a job because there's no soldier unless it's police or, whatever missionary or mace. I can't think of the right name. Hired soldiers, but if it's a profession you were trained, then you could probably find a job pretty easy. But with my experience being that long ago, and I haven't been associated with them since, but that's my personal opinion.
Okay. Well, they're still there to help people. Like I said, they're once again, this is one that Stephanie and I we're happy. We're very happy that we are introducing them for the first time. And so the next one, as you brought up, was we had them in November, and that is Healing Warriors. Healing Warriors offers free health care to our veterans here in Northern Colorado. And I'm positive that there are more programs like this all over the United States. Of course, I know the one here in Northern Colorado because, well, it's kind of where I live. So, but they go from Northern Colorado all the way down into Denver, which is great. But they offer everything, as you just saw, everything from acupuncture to just other other treatments that are needed. And of course, there's no charge to our veterans. And I think that I think that Stephanie, you and I can both say, after talking to Janet a month ago, the stories that she was telling us and the work that she does is just, that they do. I think it's some of the coolest stuff in the world. And can you remember back to anything that she said in particular that really stuck out to you?
That they bring the help to them. That they kind of move around and they bring the help to them. And this is going off of a baby brain, you guys, because I'm pretty pregnant right now. Mm-hmm. But I do remember saying, wow, they do so much. And these organizations wow me every time because from a different angle, they're helping in a different way. But yeah, really incredible programs. And they would, bring their program to different areas where they knew help was needed. And I thought that was really, really cool because a lot of people don't have the transportation or the means to get to and from. So it's nice that they bring it locally where it's needed.
Yep. One of them that we had on before, I believe they were within our first program that we introduced. Project Die Hard, Brian Gibson. And everybody knows that I've had Brian Gibson on this show multiple amounts of times. And we're proud to be honoring Project Die Hard. Project Die Hard is looking to build what's called a FOB, which is a forward operating base. It's an all-in-one program where they're going to be offering home to veterans, and home healing and help is the way that I like to put it. And one of the greatest things about what they're doing is every FOB is also going to house 2 families. And to me, that is so important, because it is not just the veteran that suffers. Geister, how important is someone's family for recovery?
It's extremely important because the home life is where you go after work. It's where you sleep. It's where it's supposed to be your, like I consider my home my own personal fortress. And having a family that's willing to accept, one, that you have a problem, that many things you may say or do is not intentional. It's not on purpose. And, having someone who gives you that type of environment where when you do make these events happen, they're there to help you, not to sit there and call the police or leave home or want to separate from you. I mean, that's what causes a lot of the suicides, is when the soldiers, the veteran, finds out that his own family don't want to take care of him or help him. And that's why, family is everything. And family doesn't necessarily always have to be blood relatives or wedding. I mean, Sarah is part of my family, as well as my friend and battle buddy, Alan Hoyt, who's narrating my book. He's part of my family. They are people that I can tell them things without the fear of judgment. I can tell them things and they won't sit there and just tell me, oh, it's all in your head, or, get over it, which, I've seen it, but people actually say that. People actually tell veterans, well, you just need to get over it. I mean, WTF is what I have to say to them when I hear that, because that is just the wrong thing to say. Like I said, I'm coming from being a suicide survivor. I know the depression and depths that brings people to that point. So I'm kind of extra sensitive on this. Luckily, I've had certain people in my life that helped me get better, so I don't have a 6-foot tall Russian descent MP knocking on my door.
Yeah.
I may have employed one of my friends to stuff him in a trash can just to make him go to the hospital once.
No Russian.
You have to do.
Are there times that you have to kind of fool someone to go and seek treatment?
Yes.
Is it difficult to do?
Do I advise doing that? Absolutely not. Because the course of treatment, unless they're absolutely ready to do it, like unless they're ready to step up and say, okay, I need help, and take that like olive branch, if you will, then you can drive them there all you want. You can stage all the interventions you want. You can, say all the nice things that make it click in their head that there might be somebody out there who gives a flying crap. But until they're ready to make that step, you can't do anything about it.
You can lead a horse to water, but you got to stand on their head to make them drink, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So, once again, Project Die Hard, they have been on the show multiple times. They've been in the program. We're thrilled to have them back. One of the other programs that we had on once before, and Stephanie, I know that this one to both of us was really cool, because he's just such a he's one of those gentlemen that when you talk to him, you're gonna smile. and that's our friend Bart. And you got to love his name too, because it's Mr. Bart Bartholomew of Veterans Honoring Veterans.
Just the sweetest.
Yeah, he. One of the things I loved about Bart was not only did he take in, and he made a purchase, of course, for wine for his own company. That's great. But we also had Jess on at the same time.
And he was so moved by what she was doing that had absolutely nothing to do with his organization and what he's doing. And, you know, he was moved and wanted to support her also.
And he did. And just, you know, like I said, he is one of the kindest people I have ever met. Okay. I talk to him, you know, I talk to him whenever we can. You know, I consider him like an uncle. I tried to joke around with him and say, you know, you're like, you're almost like a dad. And he's like, how the hell old do you think I am? So apparently, you know, apparently that tells you about how old I am. If somebody's going, I'm not old enough to have a kid your age. So, you know.
I'm excited to see him and hear from him.
Yeah. Once again, Veterans Honoring Veterans, what they do is a wonderful program of recognition. And a lot of times people just want to be seen and make sure that they're seen. And so what Veterans Honoring Veterans does is they present statues, little statuettes that have that goes through your branch of the service. Each statue is personalized. It has your name, your rank. I know with my uncles that they did posthumously. It asked for his favorite ship. You know, where my dad was, where my dad served. One of the greatest things about them and is that you do not have to be a combat veteran. If you, Bart says, you know what, if you took the oath, you did more for your country than most of the people did. So, and it's great. Everything from lady veterans. There are 2 different statues for you to choose. And of course, you see the Marines, the Navy, Coast Guard, the Air Force and Army, Air Corps, sorry, U.S. Army. So, once again, I can't, like you, Steph, I cannot wait to see Bart again, to get him back on here. He's just, truthfully, he is such a great person to talk to. And he's a guy that just really lifts your spirits. So next on here, we have Veterans Ranch. Veterans Ranch has been on here a couple times. Because they also had that terrible hurricane down there.
Right.
And JR and his crew got to work trying to help.
They were trying to help the elderly veterans, you know. Yep. They were like anything for fuel, you know, to get over to them. You know, if they have a leak in their roof or a tree came down, you can't expect the elderly to be out there in that, trying to do the cleanup, right? So they were just taking any volunteers that were in the area that would help, and you know, asking for money for fuel, you know, for the chainsaws, for the trucks, for, you know, just to get to and from. Really, really incredible. And I have a place in my heart for equine therapy too. So yep. It's personally helped us in our family in a different way, and so what they're doing is really incredible on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. The Veterans Ranch is a organization that deals with equine therapy. Gives people a chance. In which one of the things that I always tell people, and JR and I have talked about this, I am a motorcycle guy. I love a motorcycle. I think it's one of the most relaxing things in the world. JR will tell you that the horse is I guess it's similar. I don't know. A horse will bite me. A motorcycle won't. So I'm not going to get on a horse. besides that, I would never be that cruel to a horse. A horse would look at me and go, no, that ain't happening, fat guy. No, you can get on the sled behind me, but no way you getting on my back. But I know that, JR says things like, this horse can feel a fly on it. And you're wanting to get up there and you're wanting to become one with this animal, and it takes immense trust. And once it happens, once you make that connection, it's a connection like no other. So we are thrilled to be bringing back JR and the Veterans Ranch. Last year, JR was, quite honestly, he was a fantastic support for me on the first 22 hours, because JR was on with me all 22 hours. And so that was amazing. I was there, he was there. And so that means that he had to listen to me for 22 hours. I was expecting him to go, you know what? I don't know what the hell I got in my wallet, but I'm going to give it to you just to shut you up. But he never did. He sat there, he supported me, and it was great. Stephanie, once again, can you explain exactly how this works for people?
Absolutely. So if you're just seeing the show for the first time, I am with One Hope Wine, and we are a cause-centered winery out of Napa Valley. To date, we've donated over $9 million. And what I love to share is that, we have this incredible platform to be able to raise money for nonprofit organizations across the country. So we have these 7 incredible organizations that we're highlighting this month. Be sure to join us for that 22-hour podcast, because it's going to be incredible. You'll get to hear from these organizations. But we have a fundraising link open for each and every one of them this month. You can type that right into your browser, that onehopewine.com/event/ and then the 6 numbers that coincides with the organization that you would like to support. Or you can open up your phone camera and just hold it up to that QR code right there on the screen. It will take you directly to their fundraising link, where every purchase will donate back to the organization. 10% of any purchase. Now, what I like to do, just because I am in a position where I like to spread the love a little bit more, we raised $50 collectively as a group. I'm going to donate another $25 personally to that organization. So that's really just equivalent to about 2 cases of wine, you guys. It's really not, it's not a lot. So think about, who could use a case of wine? Holidays, Valentine's Day. I want to say spring again. I want to say spring, and people will be getting out after this cold passes, right? But yeah, some really, really incredible organizations that we're going to hear from this month. So be sure to join us mid-month, and definitely for Zach's 22-hour podcast.
You're going to need wine for that too. Believe me. I'm going to make sure that you need wine for that. Stephanie, they also have one other way to keep track of everything that we're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you are not on our Facebook group, it is Community Pay It Forward One Hope Fundraiser. If you want to search it in the search bar, I know that link is quite long. That's on the screen. We share recipes there. We highlight the organizations every single month right on that page. We're streaming live there right now. So if you were on there, you'd catch us live, right? And we share back and forth. So we encourage you all, if you have a recipe for one of the wines or a great pairing, share it there. It's kind of a community effort, right? Or if you try something that I post, definitely share your results too. So join us there. You can click follow in that group, and you'll be able to keep up with the organizations that we are highlighting each and every month.
One of the things that Stephanie loves doing, as she mentioned, she loves bringing up food pairings. She loves bringing up recipes with wines and stuff. But you know what? We want to see yours as well. She quite often she brings up different wines. Tell us what you think. Give us your thought. Give us your reviews of some of these wines. And do you guys still have the packs going for Valentine's Day?
So yeah, we do have gift add-ons that could be curated for Valentine's Day. I know that we talked about that the last time. with any one bottle of wine, you could add any gift set. But I did want to talk about some dry reds with our low sugar mixed pack. If we have some time, Zach, I can skim through that quickly. Just because I know it's a new year. I feel like people are new year, new diets. People are signing up for the gym. Everybody's a little bit more health conscious, like fresh chapter, right? So what I wanted to kind of cover was our mix pack with reserves. That's our low sugar mix pack.
Yeah, just let me show this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the these are the red wines that are that you can get this pack with right now. Do you want to just really quickly go through and tell them what they all are?
Yeah, sure. So most of the wines in our portfolio are low sugar, but these wines are exceptionally low in sugar. So if somebody's, watching what they're eating, watching their weight, they have less than 2 grams per 5-ounce glass. So exceptionally low. However, I don't know if we've talked about this, Zach, but even some of our sweeter wines, if you compare it to, like, let's say our Moscato to a glass of orange juice, the orange juice actually has more sugar than the Moscato. But I thought that this would be fun to kind of highlight some reds, some lighter reds, some bolder reds. And we've talked about some of these before, but some of my personal favorites are in this pack. So I figured we'd dive right in. And I know you've had the Pinot Noir, Zach, which is all the way on the right there. Do you remember that one?
I do, because Sarah had something to do with that one, because I called her and I asked her, do you chill this or and she was right.
I love it. So Pinot Noir, you can actually serve room temperature or chilled. It's one that our head winemaker, Mari, she
chilled.
There's it too. I like it chilled. Before this wine gig that I have, I didn't know that you could chill reds at all. So I tried it chilled and it took it to a whole nother level for me. There's notes of red berries, a touch of cinnamon. It's really a great wine that you can have on its own. Or if you like kind of a sangria and you want to sweeten it up, throw fruit in it, it's great like that too. So, as the warmer weather comes, I like the wine cold too. And some of the food pairings to go along with our Vintner collection Pinot Noir are brownies, fajitas, grilled salmon, and truffle cheese. So, yeah, delish. So that's the one all the way on the right in the photo. We also have our Vintner collection Cabernet, which is right next to it. I'm telling you, I did not drink red wine before being with One Hope. Obviously, I'm not drinking any wine right now because I'm expecting. But the Cabernet and the red blend, which I'll talk about next, are the wines that kind of introduced me to reds. So I feel like they're approachable for any level of wine drinker, if I can call it that, because I was just a white drinker myself. So our Cabernet Sauvignon has a big mouthful of dark berries and toffee with an echo of vanilla. It's not super, super bold like a reserve, but it is a dry wine. Delicious, though. Some food pairings with that one is some beef fillet, blue cheese, and roasted beets. I like the reds with burgers too. You'll hear me talk about burgers. Our red blend now is our Vintner collection red blend. This was the wine that was the introduction to reds for me. Think bacon burgers, all the things, barbecue ribs, berry pie, salads, things like that. Think barbecue when you think about like the Cabernet and the red blend. So our red blend is mostly Cabernet, Merlot, and red Zinfandel in the blend. Big, bold, complex with berries and cocoa aromas with this. There's a richness, like a dense chocolate cake with that one as well. So really, really good. And you get some reserves in this pack also, which is really nice. Not only do you get the half case discount, but you get some really delicious reserves. So within that pack is the Monterey County Reserve Pinot Noir and the Paso Robles Reserve Cabernet. So let's start with the Pinot Noir, which is all the way on the left in that photo. So there is a cool climate in Monterey County, and it also has sandy soils. So that textured the tannins and really made this a distinct Pinot Noir. So it has distinctive flavors and textures of generous cherry and cranberry with hints of sassafras and truffle. Some food pairings for that Pinot, which again, chilled, room temp, completely up to you. Cranberry rice salad, dark chocolate, and lamb gyros. So I'm a gyro person. I don't know about you, Zach, but I know you're a foodie too, but I can see gyro going with this.
I'm a fatty. It's not really a foodie. I'm just a fatty. I'll eat anything.
So the Paso Robles Reserve Cabernet is honestly one of my best sellers. So if you want something that's a little bit more bolder reserve cab, this is a really nice kind of in the middle. This bottle of wine retails at only $35. And for Napa Valley Cabernet, if you've ever been to Napa, a bottle of cab can go for hundreds of dollars just for one bottle, but it's a really delicious cab. And of course, when you put it in a pack, it's less than $35. That's just the retail if you only purchase one. But it's a really delicious, ripe, densely structured Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's layered with aromas of dried herbs, vanilla, and chocolate. I would suggest letting this cab air out a little bit before drinking it, because if you let it sit a little bit in 10 minutes, it's going to take on a different flavor once it's out of the bottle and get some air. You can pair it with walnuts, braised greens, blue cheese, stuffed flank steak, and rosemary cake for an elevated culinary experience. So delicious. People rave about that Paso Robles. So when it's gone out of stock, people were really disappointed. So grab that one while it's here. And finally, last one would be our Hospitality Collection California Red Blend. I feel like there's more of a cocoa flavor with this red blend than our current Vintner collection. So a little bit different. I know you're probably like, why are there two red blends? Isn't it the same wine? They're both great in different ways, but if you taste them both, the tasting profile is a little bit different. So this one has ripe raspberry and cocoa aromas with hints of clove and allspice. The palate is complex with an almost silky finish with this one. Food pairings: grilled veggies, short ribs, s'mores, and triple cream cheese. So yum. But that is the low sugar 6-pack. Really fun. On the website, you can actually click on a tab on the left that says dry wines, if that's what you're looking for. And it will show you also drier whites that we have. But I thought that pack would be fun to share, for this time of year. So,
yeah. And Stephanie, you guys are also, as hard as you work, you're looking to have other people help you out.
So yeah, there are different ways that you can kind of give back through One Hope. And that's what I love about it, is it gives really everybody, an opportunity to kind of make an impact in their local communities. So, through our wine club and our wines, you can gift and sip wine and give back to your favorite organization. Yes, even past this month, you guys, if you want to support these organizations, you just set it as your cause of choice in your account. And anytime you purchase, 10% is going to go back to that organization, which is really great. You can host an event. Connect with Zach and I. We would love to have you host an event and bring on your favorite charity so we can help support them too. And yes, I am what we call a cause entrepreneur with One Hope, and there wouldn't be over $9 million donated if it was just me, right? So the more of us there are across the country that are, doing fundraisers and raising awareness and sharing wine, the bigger the impact we're going to make.
Yeah, if it was just Stephanie, it would only have been $7.5 million. So, we she needs help too. So, well, Stephanie, again, I know that this time you've got a lot of extra work to do on your plate on top of everything else that you've got going on. So I appreciate everything that you do. I know that you've got a family to take care of and get going. So please feel free to stick around. We want to learn a little bit more about Les real quick. But feel free to stick around if you need to get going. Please feel free to do that. But first off, this is how you get a hold of this lovely woman. Go to her Linktree Steph Samos. And
that's an easier link to plug in. And you'll find our community pay it forward link right on that link, as well as the fundraising links to all the campaigns going on this month. So if that's an easier way for you to kind of find what you're looking for, type that in and you'll see the list of all the fundraisers that are
let's compare a little bit here. That one or that one?
Right.
Yeah, let's just go on ahead and stick with this one. So, and just remember, if you guys are out there and you're looking, you're a nonprofit and you need a little bit of help, just remember to call on the Goddess of the Grape, and she's going to help us out. We've been doing this now almost a year, and you know what? The feelings are, every time we learn wonderful stories. This time we've got to hear from 3 veterans here, and Stephanie, I'm going to tell you something. We haven't even started. We haven't even started this yet, and some of the stuff that we've heard from Sarah, from Geister, from Les, hearing from these veterans, Geister, I'm going to tell you something, brother. Your stories are really compelling, and all I got to say is I'm very, very happy that I finally got to meet you, and I'm really, really honored that you would come on and tell us about your program. I mean, I definitely wish you guys the best of luck with what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Sarah, you know how much I love you. You're very important to everything that we do. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you two are going to bring. Like I said, it's going to be a little odd for me because I'm not exactly a video game guy. So you guys are probably going to lose me pretty quick. I'm going to be like, going, I don't even know what the hell's going on, but that's okay. Because I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to watch you guys do your thing and just ask some questions on the way. I'll try not to be that, nerd in the corner that's going, what are you doing to that person? I'll try.
Well, Geister makes it a point now to explain to people what it is that he's doing on screen. So hopefully he'll be able to help you out a little bit.
That's good. So, but as as from myself to the 3 of you, I want to say thank you for opening up. Thank you for your stories today. Welcome to February, and welcome to welcome to Community Mission to Rescue 22. Thank you guys so very much, and I look forward to the rest of the month. So, Les, before we get started, I do need to bring up one more thing, guys. California took a real pounding, and I have a friend who was trying to do some stuff with Pacific Valley School there in California. The landslides did them great damage. There are some people who are stranded because of these landslides, and we're looking to help them out through Community Pay It Forward. But right now, if you go to, and Stephanie, you think that you've got a long link? Look at this one. And I tried to get this one shortened. Even the shorter link was crazy. So how about do this? Just go to Supporting Our Stranded South Coast Neighbors on GoFundMe. They're looking to raise $20,000. They're doing a great job. They've already got $14,830. But there's so much more. Just remember, $20,000 is just it's a beginning. There's a lot of damage there. There was a lot of rain. There was a lot of homes that were lost. schools, infrastructure that was lost. Let's make sure that we can help out people who need help. That's what this is about. That's what all of this is. That's what we're trying to do here. Just try to find ways to help people. We're going to be talking to them, and hopefully Community Pay It Forward is going to be able to throw our hat in the ring, and our great partners like Sarah and Les are going to be able to offer up some money when you shop with them. And we're going to turn their wonderful talents into a donation just by going and visiting with them and utilizing their service. And it's all we're asking you to do. Shop with them, and they're going to turn your purchase into a donation and help people like this tragedy that's going on right now in California. So, all right, Les. You're on, my friend.
Okay. Well, first off, I want to get the word out.
Oh.
On the 22nd, I plan on hopefully bringing on Dr. DeBrinket, and he's going to explain this German machine for backs. And I'm really suggesting everybody that has back problems, get your practitioner on this so he can explain it to them. And unfortunately, only 10 to 20% of veterans actually go to veteran hospitals. They go to private doctors. And so at this point, we do not have it where Veteran Association will pay for it, but regular insurance will. And so I'm going to suggest that, plus these other two medical devices. I'm planning on having my wife. She's a psychotherapist and a clinical nutritionist. And she's going to be talking what she does with PTSD and so forth, and especially families. Families have a lot of problems in PTSD. And the reason for that is because when the veteran comes home and he gets in what they call fight or flight, which is under stress, then he triggers his wife. And we find out the wife ends up having PTSD also. And so we have to give them tools to work together to keep them out of fight or flight and to actually work with their past to bring it up and restructure it with love, appreciation, and acceptance. She's written a book, Lost and Restored, basically on Christian. And I know she has some Christian charities. So especially Christian, she helps out on this area. I also plan on the 22nd again. So as many practitioners that you can have bring on this, they'll get educated and be able to help you with backaches. And right now on the supplement that I was telling you about, I can't give you any more details than this, but we are working with the Veteran Administration because they feel if this supplement, what it does is restore all of the circulation. We've lost a tremendous amount of circulation in our capillaries. In fact, I suggest everybody write down this book, or I'll put it into chat, because it's a new era. It's called Your Capillary Quotient by Carol Merlot. And it's going to be a complete new way for physicians to look at health, because up to this point, they did not have the ability to look at the capillaries. To give you an idea, capillary, 200 of them will fit in your hair, one strand of hair. So they haven't been able to do anything with that. But as we age, with diet, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and so forth, we've actually destroyed what the inside of the capillary called the glycocalyx, which allows the capillary to work. And when you get to be my age, 30% of it can be gone. And so this restores that. So it's an anti-aging company. And so those are the plan on having my wife on, plan on having Dr. DeBrinket, and then myself explaining some of the technology. So any practitioners you can get on would be great.
So Les, what got you into, and all of a sudden I've just got a whole bunch of dog hair that attacked me. That's wonderful. But as you saw earlier, Les, my dog loves to attack me when this is going on. So, Les, what got you into dealing with these health programs? What was
Okay.
it that drove you here?
First off, I've always tried to make people's life easier. And me being a veteran myself, I used to be in finance, in long-term care insurance, because once a person needs help, instead of getting their estate destroyed, they had the insurance to keep them from it. And then I was a national trainer for GE Capital for 7 years. And my wife, for 10 years, had asked me to get in something we could do together because she knows I love to train on the unusual and different. And about 5 years ago, we were introduced to a German device. And I had no circulation from my knees to my ankles. It was gray skin. And so I started using this device, and after 6 weeks, I had pink skin from my knees to my ankles. And again, I love to educate on the new and the different. And so we decided it was time for me to change to healthcare, and then we could work together. So that's the big secret behind it. I love to help people make their life a lot easier through technology. And my wife wanted us to work together.
What have you found are some of the biggest challenges when you're dealing with something that is moving well in Europe, but it's a new program, new product here? What are some of the things that you have found challenging that you would like to maybe change?
Sure. Well, first off, the camera has been in research hospitals for 10 years. Only recently, with software development, and it used to take 3 days for a doctor to go through all of it's very simple. It goes underneath the tongue, and it used to take an hour and take all these photographs of your capillary system. And it took doctors 3 days to determine what it meant. And but with software development, now it takes 5 minutes under the tongue, and it takes 300,000 photographs. And I mean, to blow your mind, it does 100 million calculations in 25 minutes and shows you everything that's happening in your capillary system. And so that was so now we're debuting it. We're in soft launch. In April, we will have a lot of news releases. But right now we have 5,000 doctors that have signed up to get this camera, because again, a doctor will actually be able to tell you by the camera if you have a low, medium, or high risk of a heart attack within 6 years, and what you can do about it. And the reason that's so significant, when you talk about suicide, people have a heart attack every 39 seconds in the United States. And 90% of them had no idea they had a problem. In fact, their practitioner didn't know they were that bad off. Well, now the practitioner is going to be able to tell them. And then with the supplement, change it around. And so right now we're just getting started. But the devices out of Europe, again, one of them, because we're starting off with a camera and the doctors want it, we'll bring the other devices in. But it's all about education. And this is a publicly held company, deep pockets. So it has all the money for the marketing. We're going to be actually hiring medical device salespeople to take it to doctors, to educate them, because they already have in fact, if you know of any people that would like to work with doctors, we pay them very nicely to go into doctors, set them up a residual income. But it's all about time, but we just got started. So we expect to be $1 billion company within 2 years with this. And again, it's publicly held. So anybody that wants to get on the ground floor of it, the new era of healthcare, but please get that book. It'll tell you a lot. And again, that's Your Capillary Quotient by Carol Merlot. Get it on Amazon for $12.95.
Well, I greatly appreciate that. What you keep talking about the back pain, and what are some of the other things that can really take and these systems can really help healing? What are some of the other?
Oh, I was going to start to tell you on the VA, and this is and because these studies are going, I can tell you about them. We're going to be working with the VA for diabetes, heart, and brain. We work with actually special forces for PTSD with one of the supplements. And once these studies are done, then the VA will be supporting, will be in the hospitals, and they expect to save $3 billion a year with that. The other things with the devices, and again, the FDA has warned us that in Europe, we can tell all the different conditions. This is the United States. The only people that can tell your conditions that you can help with, by the way, there's over 100 that this device has proved that it can help with, is your doctor. That's why I'm saying, please bring your doctor or refer me to your doctor. And I can talk to him about this stuff, and then he can talk to you. But the FDA has been very clear. All we can do is be very general. And what the device does is called pulsed electromagnetic field therapy. And what it does is two things. One, all of our cells, as they get older and sick, there's a positive charge on the inside of the cell and a negative on the inside and a positive on the outside. As the cell gets sick, the positive inside starts getting positive, and then the cell crushes down. This does not allow any food to go in or waste to come out. This device gets it back up. And so it allows all the cells to now rebuild, to have full oxygen, full waste. The other thing it does is it increases blood flow, and it increases what they call ATP, the ability of the cell to make energy. That's the three things that it does, but those change lives. And so that I can tell you, and the doctors, Dr. DeBrincat and others right now are trying to figure out ways that we can tell you what it does without conditions and meet all FDA standards in the United States. So it's pretty amazing, but that's why I'm saying get your doctor on, and we will explain it to them. Introduce me to your doctor, and then everybody can be helped.
Well, Les, how did they get a hold of you other than going to Community Pay It Forward? And they're going to be able to find your landing page there. We should have your landing page up and running by Friday. I'm working on that. But how else can they get a hold of you?
303-579-6881 is my cell. Now, the email is a long one. It's lsimpson, SIMPSON, at wellness, WELLNESSTECHPLUS.com. lsimpson at wellnesstechplus.com.
And I'll have those tagged as soon as we replay this video, so you'll be able to get them there. Les, I appreciate you. I want to thank you again for your service, first off. And I want to thank you for joining the Community Pay It Forward family. What are some of the things we know that you love helping to support veterans? What are some of the other causes that you love to get behind and you love to support?
The big one is marriages. Again, when a couple gets together, they need tools to help them. when they start getting in an argument, they get into what we call fight or flight. And the only thing you can do is fight or go away. And so the brain, 70% of the brain, the blood comes out of, because you don't need to think to run or fight. And so getting people, they have tools where they actually can think. And in fact, I have an image, and I want you to picture this. There is a gorilla up here, and there's a little dog. When we're in our present maturity and we're in a heated argument, the little dog is going arf, 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 and you're listening to it, but you're not afraid of it. When we're in fight or flight and we've got all of our past that we're trying to fight with, it's the gorilla saying, "Arr!"
I don't know. I've seen some pretty damn mean little dogs. I think I may have been married to a couple of them too. I did not say that. I didn't. I did, but well, thank you so
much. I just want to go on record as saying Geister's dog is pretty nasty. It's not her fault. It's just PTSD.
She is an Army sergeant. She is an Army sergeant who's been in Fallujah.
Well, again, Les, I want to thank you so much for joining the family. Welcome. And I look forward to working with you for quite a while. Let's make sure that we help out as many people as we can.
You bet. I love it. And
all right.
The more we can help, the better, because then all this stuff from combat and so forth, you'd be surprised how much this supplement helps the brain, opens up all of the, takes the metals out and gets 25% more circulation in the brain. And we have all kinds of clinical trials showing that. So it'll be interesting once. And that's why when I found this group concentrating on veterans and so forth, it's phenomenal, because I'd love to help every veteran out there return to all of the trauma they had before the war.
Again, I'm really looking forward to a long relationship and helping out as many as we can. Sarah, you just came up with a wonderful, wonderful thing. And let me go on ahead and create a banner for it here real quick. I just put it in the chat. And of course, it's not going to let me do the whole banner. So, but you know what? We'll just do it this way. Why don't you go on ahead and tell us what you are willing to do?
I am more than happy to give anyone who uses the code community when they direct message me or email me in regard to branding or social media packages to give 50% off to them, and then give you the remainder of the proceeds so that you can continue to help the people that you are helping, as well as our mission partner.
That is fantastic. So, you know what, if you're looking to brand your business or get a bigger hold on social media, reach out to Autumn Dahlia Creative Services, and you can find that on Community Pay It Forward. One of the things, one of the places that you can find her is our very first category, and that is ADA compliance, because ADA compliance on your website is so important. If your website is not ADA compliant, remember, you're excluding customers. If they cannot handle your website, they're going to go somewhere else. So make sure that you're ADA compliant. I want to thank you so much, Sarah, for that. That's, once again, that's just beyond kind. I'm so happy that we got you back, and in the, it was just too damn long that you were gone. So, but we'll make sure that we keep sharing that with people. So again, that's 50% off when you use the code community. 50% off your branding or social media packages, and then the proceeds, the rest of the proceeds will go to the mission of your choice. So what do you got to lose? You get something for half off. Plus, you get to give the other half to something that you really care about. We also have a little bit more news here. Geister, tell me what you got going on.
Well, basically what I have is I'm going to be doing a online discussion with Jonathan Yanez and Sarah talking about my book and the trauma behind the book and a lot of the theories. I have that going on. Also, ironically, streamers really use Twitter more than any other. So is via Twitter. I'm accepting veterans who want to be part on the show. They can that we have mainly on Friday nights and Saturday nights. They can reach me via Twitter and let me know if they're interested, and we can get them on to the show. So that is the two big things in the short term that is coming up now. We're probably going to be having that show with Jonathan Yanez and Sarah probably in the end of March is where we're targeting for, and our game show streaming service, that keeps rolling over. So if you can't do it this month, contact me next month. We can get you on the schedule.
Well, Geister, do me a favor. When you guys get it all set up on when you're going to be hosting that show, why don't you come on and let us know, and we'll be more than happy to share that. Make sure that we can try to get as many people to you as possible.
Okay, thank you.
So not a problem. Hey, again, I cannot thank you guys enough for your service. I cannot thank you enough for your services. I appreciate everything that you guys do for everyone. This is the whole reason why, I wanted to do something with this. I wanted to do something with my partners, with you guys, because this is the way that I feel we can make a difference for people out there. And from everyone's experience, as you've heard, everyone here tonight has had a different experience, but every single one of us has the same thought. Nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. And that's really what we're looking to do. So please make sure that you join us on February 22nd for a community mission to Rescue 22. If you need to get a hold of people, please make sure that you reach out to them. Les, can I get your phone number and your email address again, please?
Yes, it's 303-579-6881. Email is lsimpson@wellnesstechplus.com. That's WLLNESSTECHPLUS.com.
No. And you can always find him on Wellness Tech Plus Inc.now.site/home or just now site. So, Les, again, thank you very much. And my friend, welcome to the family. I appreciate it. Will you come back?
Yes.
So I hope you enjoyed your first.
I will drag him back. I promise.
You're going to come back. That's good. That's good. So, I hope you enjoyed your first taste of what we do, what we're trying to do. So there's quite a bit of stuff that goes on these shows, days like this, but you know what? It's all for the betterment of people. Geister, how did they get a hold of you, my friend?
Best way to get me is, like I said, via my Twitter. It's at Geister1819 is the way to get me. I respond relatively quickly. It's like I said, Twitter is the de facto streamers social path to its viewers and customer base. So better, we find it's much better than using Facebook or any other system.
I myself am in agreement with you. I love Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot more than I'm on anything else. I like the quick hits and get out. So, and you don't have to. Well, there's just not all the other fun stuff that you have. And again, thank you, sir. I'm very, very glad that you have overcome and you're working through everything. And please know that we're always here if there's anything that we can do to support your efforts. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah, I know where they can reach you. Yours is already out there. You can find Sarah at communitypayitforward.us/autumn-dahlia.creative or /services. Or you just go community pay it forward, autumn or Dahlia or creative or services. She's going to come up in the search bar. Okay. Here on Friday. Yeah. And here on Friday, you're going to be able to do that with Les too. You're going to be able to go communitypayitforward.us. You're going to see the little search bar and you're going to be able to put in Les and boom, he's going to pop right up. So thank you, my dear, for joining us. Thank you for everything that you're doing. I'm really looking forward to continuing to work with you. Best of health to you and your family. My love to all of you guys. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Our pleasure.
Hey, everybody. That's it for this evening. Les, you took over my screen. let's do this.
Yeah, that looks better.
You're a hell of a lot better looking than I am, so that was okay. But it's like, wait a minute, I'm talking now. I've talked the whole damn time, but still. Please remember that we are here not to promote drinking. If you do have a problem with alcohol, contact us. We have phone numbers that can help you out. Please do enjoy everything responsibly, and remember to make every bottle count. We're raising glasses to great causes. This is the first event of our community mission to Rescue 22. We are so proud to have you here. We are thrilled that you have decided to join us. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me by using my For My Card. For My Card, it's www.formycard.net/Zach Clayton. formycard.net/Zach Clayton, and you can find everything that you need to know about me and probably a heck of a lot more that you really don't need to know. But there's nothing like that on there. But you can find out more about this. You can always keep up with us at communitypayitforward.us. That's communitypayitforward.us. And if you need to get a hold of me immediately, 970. Yeah, I didn't need that, Sarah. That's perfectly fine. I do not need a naked 4-year-old on stream. Yes, you're right. 970-909-0751. Please remember to love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Nobody needs to go it alone when we all come together. Please join me on Friday. We're probably going to replay a lot of this interview, but we're going to start playing past interviews with some of our great mission partners that are going to be part of this event. So have a great day. We will see you on Friday.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home, out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.